Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian. Welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an excellent show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, as you guys know, the Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis trade was the biggest news in the NBA this season. No question about it. Shook up the entire sports world. We all reacted to it, and in the immediate aftermath of the trade going down, a lot of people were like, how could something like this big be kept quiet? And the initial reports that we were hearing was that it essentially only four people knew: the two GMs, and Rob Pelinka, Nico Harrison, and the two governors for the Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks. And a lot of people were sitting back saying to themselves, this is absolutely ridiculous. A trade of this magnitude, a franchise altering trade of this magnitude, nobody knows anything about it. And then people started coming out and saying LeBron knew it. As a matter of fact, yesterday we produced a show reacting to some comments that Jay Williams made on the Stephen A. Smith podcast, where he essentially said, look, LeBron knew about it, right? There's no way something like that big goes down and LeBron has no idea that something like that is happening. It's just as the leader of the team, the face of the franchise, he doesn't believe that. He believes that LeBron James gets that respect. So that happens. And then about 2 days ago, draft night goes down. Not draft night, when we're finding out the lottery night goes down to figure out which teams are going to get what picks. And going into the lottery night, the Dallas Mavericks had a 1.8% chance of landing the first pick. And just as you would believe it, the Dallas Mavericks with a 98.2% chance of not landing the number one pick in the draft, they end up getting the number one pick. And after they got that pick, everybody was just like, you got to be joking. This thing has to be rigged, right? Everybody was laughing about it. But the last person you expected to pour flames on the fire would be the face of the NBA. Yes, LeBron decided to jump into the fray and basically try to legitimize the sentiment out there that this thing may be rigged. And it wouldn't be the first time he did it, because initially he had gone on the Pat McAfee show and done the same thing just a few months ago, where he was like, in 2003, that seemed weird. The Patrick Ewing thing, that seemed weird. And I'm looking, I'm like, bro, isn't this your league? Are you trying to poke holes in the credibility of what your league stands for? Aren't you trying to uphold the NBA and make sure it's still around after you leave? But apparently not. LeBron decided that this would be a perfect opportunity to get people thinking out there that the entire league is essentially rigged. But before we even get into what he posted on the internet and what some other NBA players had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60-plus states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I am super excited about this Game 2 matchup between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for upfront. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so let me read what this Fadeaway World article said. It says LeBron James reacts to the Mavericks winning draft lottery and potentially creating new big three. It continues on. The Dallas Mavericks have earned the number one pick in the 2025 NBA draft after shockingly winning the draft lottery on Monday. The Mavericks had just a 1.8% chance of getting the top pick, and LeBron seemed to find these turn of events amusing. Now, I want to quickly show you what LeBron posted on his Twitter. He posted a bunch of laughing emojis, right? And you can see that this post was viewed 24.5 million times. And essentially what LeBron is saying in this thing is that this thing is a joke and it's rigged. And he already alluded to this before. And then it goes on and it says a couple of James's former teammates also had some interesting reactions. Kevin Love sent out some laughing emojis as well, but added some text too. He said, "There's no effing way. I mean, come on, man." Tristan Thompson, meanwhile, predicted the Mavs would win the lottery minutes before it was revealed. Tristan Thompson wrote, "Told y'all." Of course, the Mavericks getting this fortunate just months after trading Luka Doncic to the James's Los Angeles Lakers only strengthened the belief that some circles that believe the lottery is rigged. There have been one too many occasions by now where things have panned out just a bit too perfectly. It happened with James himself, of course. He was the most hyped prospect to enter the NBA in the ages of 2003, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, his hometown team, would win the lottery that year. Back in March, James hinted that the NBA might have rigged the lottery in 2003 and on some other occasions. So you heard what LeBron James and some other people had to say, some other NBA players. What are my thoughts about this? I think it's absolutely insane that LeBron is actually feeding into this. I think it's absolutely insane. Like, it's one thing if some ancillary players are taking this position, but for the face of the NBA to be saying this, like, I think that's absolutely insane. Why would you feed into this? Why would you get people thinking, oh, well, this thing could be rigged? Because then if you get people thinking that, then people then begin to ask the question, well, what is real? What is real? You know, your image, is it real or is it manufactured? Like, what is real? And I'm like, as somebody that's supposed to be upholding the league, why are you doing this? But then again, it doesn't surprise me. You know, listen, I was talking to an NBA player about this, about the return of Michael Jordan. And I was talking about like how that's going to be a boon for NBA fans. A lot of NBA fans are excited about it. I mean, Jordan comes back and all of a sudden there's excitement all throughout the NBA world. And I was like, yes, Jordan going to set the record straight. He goes, Michael Jordan is going to make the Kobe Bryant and Jordan fans look stupid. I'm like, goodness Lord. Oh my God. I'm like, how is that going to be possible? How is he going to make us look stupid? He's like, because he's not going to attack LeBron and he's not going to attack these players. He's going to be classy. And I said, you know what? That's interesting because that would be the total opposite of LeBron James and the JJ Redicks and people like yourself who have trashed various eras in the NBA. Guys, LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show and was making fun of eras of basketball and players that helped build the league for him to have a league to be able to make $100 million a year. I want you to think about that for a second. What ambassador does that? I'm like, think about that. He's like, well, Jordan is classy. I'm like, yeah, something you guys are not. Most of us are out here pushing back on some of the ridiculous narratives and notions that you guys put out there. So for you to say Michael Jordan is not going to go out there and do that shows that Michael Jordan understands the assignment. You guys don't seem to. You guys simply don't seem to get it, frankly. Y'all don't get it. But to have the face of the NBA doing that, first of all, it's childish. It's childish. Like, let's be for real. That's childish. You could have kept that to yourself. Number two, why are you feeding into this? Don't you understand you're hurting the product? Or is it that, okay, as long as I'm here and I'm benefiting by it, then it's fine. Then whatever happens to it after I'm gone, so be with it. It makes me begin to think of conversations that Stephen A. Smith had where he's things that Stephen A. Smith said where he's like, certain owners don't want LeBron to be in the NBA. They don't like the way he moves and all of that. Maybe it's for things like this. It's like, is this guy going to be here to help the entire league grow, or is he just going to be here for himself and what's going to benefit him? Sometimes I really sit back and ask myself, how are there LeBron fans that exist in the world? It's just unbelievable to me. I don't understand the allure of this guy. I don't see it. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I just don't see what oh my God, I don't see it. Some of them see it and I'm like, I remember the guy saying, he said about this girl, he was like, in a relationship, he was saying to the guy about his girlfriend, he was like, well, I'm trying to figure out what you see in her that the rest of us don't see. Like, I'm just confused by it. They seem to see something that I just don't see. But anyway, guys, look, these are my thoughts. The question is simply this. Do you think LeBron was out of bounds? for taking a shot at his own league? Or do you think that, hey, it's all fun and games? It's just one big joke? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.